This week, military representatives of Latvia and Ukrainian volunteers organized humanitarian aid for civilians and soldiers who are in the ATO zone. More details about what kind of aid it was, watch in the following story.
8 tons of humanitarian aid were passed from Latvia to Ukraine. At this time, packages with warm clothes for ATO participants and their families. Representatives of armed forces of Latvia were helping Ukrainian volunteers to unload the collected goods from several European countries. The transfer of supplies visited the ambassador of Latvia to Ukraine, Juris Poikans. Mainly, it is a clothing for ATO participants and their families. All in one, 8 tons of, I hope, very important materials for Ukraine. Latvia is not the first time sends humanitarian supplies to Ukraine. According to military attaché of Latvian armed forces, such support to neighbors is present at all levels of his homeland. As for me, the need to support was perceived explicitly at all levels, from personal, governmental to all national in total, because our countries both have something in common, something that we have passed through, and that we both do not want to allow it to happen again. The host party were representatives of NGO, All Ukrainian Patriotic Movement Defense. When the state cannot provide with all necessities those who suffered from the war, says NGO chairman Denis Panasyuk, volunteers from the defense resort to international cooperation in order to collect the necessary things and try to distribute them as required. Earlier, the assistance came from France. Also, our Ukrainian diaspora in Chicago. We are very grateful to them too. They passed a lot. Well, we did not make a division to the armed forces or to volunteer battalions as it was before, because the war is the same for everyone. That is why for help comes anyone in need, as wives of or veterans who are currently without job or money, and we, as possibly as we can, provide them with those assistance that we've got. The importance of such humanitarian assistance have also mentioned the chairman of the Association of ATO Veterans of the Navy and Marine Special Forces, Major Viktor Degtyaryov. He recalls when he got wounded, medics had to cut the uniform from his body, and there were not even an underwear or other clothes to get dressed. So the prosperity of ATO participants and their families is a key element for successful adaptation to normal life. Well, you know, the successful psychological rehabilitation of fighters would become when they have bread, salad, clothing, money to go for movies with kids, to pay for school and kindergartens. Only then everything will be back in its place. But only by saying that everything gonna be all right, saying to calm down, the sane mind will never be back. Therefore, those people who came through the ATO zone need an assistance not only in words, but in financing too. Viktor Degtyaryov says that apart from the material assistance, his association plans to conduct joint activities of sharing personal experience among veterans of special forces of different countries, similar to those in America after Vietnam War or in other countries.